everyone? RogueGold here, welcome back to The Division 2. Today was the developer's special report presentation talking about everything including the Battle for Brooklyn DLC, Year 7 Season 1, Crossroads. All of it launches tomorrow on Tuesday, May 27th. And so, in today's stream we had Yannick, the game's creative director, as well as Anais, one of our new community developers. They went through everything, I watched, took my notes, and as always, I'm going to give you the most concise recap that I can of the information that you need to know. Let's hit it off with a few off-the-top notes that are really important to keep in mind. Firstly, there is a free weekend coming for the game. It begins this Thursday on May 29th. And runs through June 2nd. They listed off the platforms. I believe it includes every major platform except for Steam. So if you want to have your friends jump in and try out the Division 2 on any of the three major platforms, this is your chance. Additionally, as we covered in some past videos, the game is releasing on Xbox Game Pass starting tomorrow. This includes the console version as well as PC, and they said that for a limited time after its release on Game Pass, joining up to the Division 2 via that platform will get you a free limited time outfit called the EMS outfit, so that's a potential incentive. And then, we've already covered this, but I just want to reiterate because I get a ton of questions about it. People are saying, when can I buy the DLC? How can I get my hands on it? The sales for it begin at 8 a.m. Central European tomorrow morning on May 27th. If you're in North America, like myself, that converts to 11 p.m. Pacific tonight on the 26th, or 2 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. Again, the DLC is going to cost $15 USD for the standard version, $25 for the deluxe version. That deluxe version just coming with an extra cosmetic outfit and weapon skin. The DLC is included in the new Gold and Ultimate editions of the game, but these were released just a month ago at the end of April. So if you have the Gold or Ultimate editions from years past of the Division 2, you will need to buy the DLC separately. And then finally, I will be streaming Battle for Brooklyn. My plan is to go live pretty soon after the servers open up, so be there. Hope to see you there. It's going to be a great time. But without further ado, let's get into the stream recap. Really quickly, everybody, before we get to the breakdown, just as I was wrapping up recording, the game posted this on social media. Not only do we have the official patch notes for this season and update for the game, I will leave a link for this in the description if you want to check it out. But additionally, more importantly, they gave us the estimated downtime. It is going to be 7 hours of estimated maintenance for them to deploy this update, including the DLC. So again, these are the times at which the server will go down. Feel free to convert this to your local time zone. Approximately 7 hours after that is when we should be able to log into the game, and they did confirm that the DLC will be accessible immediately once the servers are live. But again, this is estimated. There have been times in the Division's history where those estimated times are quicker, longer, so be ready for anything. But yeah, just to give you a heads up, that is approximately when all of this will be playable. And my plan is to go live as soon as the servers are up, so again, if you want to tune in, see me play through it, hope to see you there. But now, without further ado, here's the stream recap. Alright, so they started out by recapping everything involving the DLC. We first got the cinematic trailer for it, which we hadn't seen before. No huge, revelatory info in here. It was very cool, though. We saw a lot of the bridge settlement. We got narration from Agent Hoskins, who we know from previous Division lore and media. And then, of course, they focus on the Cleaner invasion. We see a ton of Cleaners packed in that are here, ready to invade Brooklyn. They're not kidding by putting battle in the title. It's going to be a fight. They then went through a quick story premise recap talking about why we're here, what's going on. One thing I did like was that Yannick confirmed that there are a lot of small mysteries that are going to need to be answered as we go through, talking about why the Cleaners have invaded Brooklyn specifically, who is leading them. Furthermore, they said there is a big nostalgic element heading back to Brooklyn, of course because of its history in the Division 1. They also wanted to show the passage of time in the world compared to when we were there, which in the game world was like 9 or 10 months ago. They gave us an overview of the playable map. They did confirm, yes, this is smaller than stuff like Warlords of New York, but there is a lot of density. They said that they really wanted there to be big elements of exploration, discovery, and verticality. I'm really happy to hear that. I think that always elevates, the quality and enjoyability of these worlds. As far as the content in the DLC, they talked about the world missions, which are the new renamed side missions. They're on the map, but they're also now fully replayable. You can go back, scale the difficulty, play them however you like. The new main missions we are getting are all off-site from the main Brooklyn map, and they said that while this is a change, it does allow for them to do a bit stronger thematics for every different mission, add some greater depth. They then recap the new Purple Flame gameplay mechanic, which is coming back after its first iteration that we saw in the Paradise Lost incursion. Yannick said that this will encourage quick encounters, tactical gameplay. You don't want to get caught with a lot of fire on you because it corrodes your armor. And he did confirm that the corrosion effect from this will persist on you after combat. It takes a while for it to replenish. So this is not something that you're just going to be able to brush aside. We are going to have to very much keep it in mind while we're playing through Brooklyn's content. They showed off the new Catalyst exotic mask. This is exclusive to DLC ownership. You will not be able to get this if you do not buy and play Battle for Brooklyn. They said that it is built to help combat the purple flame specifically. Its talent deals a lot with status effects and fire benefits, and they did confirm that it will be a random drop from the final mission of the DLC. So if you don't get it your first time around, you might have to go and replay that mission a few times, but it's good to know where it comes from. Then of course they also went over the smart cover skill, which we've talked about a lot. Also a big nostalgic element here, given that it was available in the Division 1. They said that this also encourages tactical gameplay with your group all getting together in one or a few pieces of cover. And they did confirm that this one will be a guaranteed unlock throughout your DLC progression, so no random chance for this one, right? And then finally, as far as the DLC is concerned, they said that there is an upcoming community contest coming in June for people finding cool spots in Brooklyn, so stay tuned to the game's social media pages. I'm sure there will be some rewards for that. Moving on, they went on to talk about Year 7 Season 1 Crossroads, both recapping a lot of the information that we already know, but they also dropped some pretty revelatory new stuff as well, which is pretty exciting. So they quickly recap the story of this prior season. Spoiler alert if you haven't done it yet. The finale sees Kelso infiltrating the White House. They confirm that she eliminates the Black Tusk's asset, which was Dr. Summers, so that is fully confirmed. And then of course the big thing is that Schaefer is awake. After all of these years in the real world, months in the game, he's back, and he's got a lot of information to tell us. So they confirmed that the Crossroads season picks up immediately afterwards. They also confirmed that while the stories for Battle for Brooklyn and Crossroads are separate, they do take place at the same time. But then yeah, getting more into the season narrative, they said that Schaefer has a lot of intel on the Black Tusk, their operations, their secrets, their goals, and they said that part of the reason this season is called Crossroads is that it really is the beginning of a new chapter. There are going to be evolutions in the storytelling, in the kind of revelations that we get. They confirmed that certain conclusions are going to be reached in this current storyline that we're playing. And verbatim, Yannick said that this season will start to answer a lot of questions. I'm really looking forward to that. We don't have a dedicated prime target this time around, or we do, rather. However, they are like masked. We don't actually know who they are. But they did confirm a couple of things about progressing to the climax mission, in which we will get to find out. So scouts, which were a new part of Seasons 2.0, they no longer have a fixed order for completion. If you come into the season on week 8, you could go straight to Scout 7 or Scout 4, or start at Scout 1 if you want to, and tackle them however you want. They're still going to release in a specific order one by one each week, right? But it's just that if you want to come back later and do them in a different order, you can. Another really big change though is that they're not actually making these, all of them at least, required to unlock the climax mission at the end of the season. This time around, there are allegedly going to be 2 scouts labeled as high value targets, and completing those 2 scouts are actually the only ones that are mandated in order for you to unlock and access the climax mission at the end of the season. So that is a really big change. They said specifically people coming in as the climax unlocks and having like 10, 11, 12 scouts in front of them, that can be daunting. So this allows you to get to that content a bit easier. But they said that doing each scout is still going to be rewarding if you do play the game every week, because you're still awarded with the usual materials like field recon data and exotic components, and you still get access to the same lore drops. If people choose not to do all of the scouts, they're not going to get all of those comms. They'd have to go back and replay once the season is over to get some of them, so there will still be incentive to go and interact with that content. They revealed the visual look for the new Tinkerer exotic mask. This thing looks sick. I think this is the, for anyone who doesn't know, the basically revived Alpha Bridge from the Division 1, and they confirmed that just like the Birdie's exotic pack last season and the Provocator chess piece before it, this will be awarded exclusively from this season's climax mission. Playing it on Master will give it at a guaranteed rate, and then lower difficulties have a chance-based drop. They moved on to talk about the seasonal journey. It is also going to be more choice-based this time around. Not only are they making it so that passive modifiers are unlocked from specific journey objectives, so not the overall mission, but specific objectives within each chapter. They said that this allows you to better target which ones you want to unlock first. Additionally, on top of the fact that we can already start from Journey 3 if you're level 40, this is a change that they put in last season, I believe. Now, they said that you will be able to go after, in any order, Journey Tiers 4, 5, and 6. And so, on top of the fact that passive modifiers are awarded from the individual objectives, as soon as the season begins, you can go and target whichever kind of stuff you want to do in whatever order, and then over time, of course, you work towards unlocking everything. I think this is a pretty good change. Hopefully people like it. They covered the new seasonal modifier that we're getting this time around, which is called Hardcore. As we've covered in previous videos, this has taken very heavy inspiration from the Division 1 in terms of the stats that we had available in that game, the abilities such as the signature skills. So they showed some gameplay examples where you can see the UI on the side of the HUD shows you how many tiers you're building up in this new Hardcore system. They also confirmed that we are given access to one of the active modifiers right away from the beginning of the season. This is different from past ones where you had to progress to unlock them. There are 5 this time around, so we get one of those right off the bat. That's pretty cool. Moving on, they then talked about some of the new gear and things they're adding with the season. We have the Pecan exotic LMG, as we've talked about. One thing they showed off, though, was a new skin they're giving for it. If you haven't seen, they've started adding in exotic skins. We got one for the Scorpio with the Brooklyn activation event. I know there's one coming for the Pestilence as well. This one looks sick. It is called Nocturne. It's got this really cool orange glow effect, which turns red if you go rogue. Now, I don't know how often I'm going to be using the Pecan in PvP, but that is such a cool thing that it switches colors like that. I mean, oh my god. They then as well showed off the new Nimble exotic holster, which we know is coming. This one, though, has some cool reactive elements as well, where the screen that it has on one side, that will change covers and show different symbols depending on if you're in cover, in a cover-to-cover move, out of cover. So that's a neat element. They talked about the Imminent Armaments brand set, which deals with threat stats, kind of also harkening back to the Division 1, how you could better control those things there. We're now getting that here. Finally, they talked about the Measured Assembly gear set, which again takes inspiration from Final Measure in the Division 1, this time focusing on skill proxies over grenades. They also confirmed that this gear set is going to be the first thing introducing one-strap backpacks to the Division 2. So, from my understanding, the backpack for this will swap between 1 and 2 strap depending on what sort of clothing outfit you have on. They also confirm, however, that there is a Fei Lao outfit bundle coming to the store, and that will also contain a one-strap backpack. So it seems like they're going to be slowly rolling that feature out as time goes on. They talked about the season pass and showed a few things there. They listed off a bunch of stuff that it contains. I didn't quite get all of it, but something like 10 gear dyes, 10 weapon skins, 400 premium credits. If you buy the premium version you go through, you get 400 of those back. They also showed a visual of some of the outfits that you can get. It looks like they're going to be Brooklyn themed. So, as usual, a lot of stuff coming on the season pass. They went on to talk about a few quality of life updates that we can expect to see this season. That includes the fact that seasonal journey objectives can now be completed in co-op. This is big, as previously they were solo only. They confirmed that Season Pass XP rewards that you are given by just completing different activities in the game. This was a feature that they introduced last season. Those sources are being buffed by 85%. That is a really big value. They said they want people to be able to progress through the pass a little bit quicker and do it in the way that they want to do, and so this should allow for that. They went over the scavenging points revamp, which we've talked about ad nauseum here on the channel. I'm not going to do it again, but again, to reiterate, if you have any leftover scavenging points, spend them today or tonight before the servers go down, because tomorrow they're going to be wiped and re-granted with a new value. So any points that you don't spend now are just going to go to waste. And then just a reminder that come tomorrow's update, the values that you get for the materials from scavenging points is being increased by 3 times. So expect some different values there when you log on tomorrow. Talking about onboarding, they quickly recap the new milestone builds and caches. That's a feature that got added this current season in the game. You acquire those caches at levels 8, 15, 25, and 35. They're intended to start teaching the fundamentals and basics of build making to new players. They confirm that this is one element of onboarding that they're working on, but that they're also doing more changes to the overall onboarding process throughout this coming Year 7 Season 1 update. Of course, most of those at the end game we won't see, but they said some we will, so keep in mind that that's on the way. Moving on to talk about events, we have Twitch drops coming. Again, also covered this in a previous video, but those begin tomorrow on May 27th. They run through June 10th. The devs did address the issues that have been going on with recent Twitch drops campaigns and how people weren't getting their rewards. If you didn't see, they granted out the rewards from the recent Twitch drops to everybody in the game. So if you have not checked out your stash to claim those, be sure to do so. But yeah, they said they've done some tests in the background background. Hopefully those issues won't happen again for this new one. They confirmed that a summer event is on the way this season, and the reward for it, at least one of them, will be new skills VFX, the first ones that we are seeing since the launch of the Division 2 back in 2019. From what I was able to see and gather, we have the Stinger Hive, which is getting a red, white, and blue kind of flash and glow effect to its charges. The Seeker Mine is getting a red, white, and blue smoke trail effect as it rolls around, and the drone is getting a red, white, and blue like kind of pixel flash trail as it flies around. These things look really cool. Apparently skill VFX are back and something that they're going to be investing into in the future, so that is pretty darn awesome. Finally, they confirmed that there will be a Shepherd XP event coming this season. A few different things here though. Independent from the event, they're actually boosting what you get from the Shepherd ranks and just engaging with the system overall. So the auto endorsements that the game gives you for helping agents out, which is different from the individual ones that those agents can choose to give you. The auto endorsements are actually being boosted to 3 compared to the 1 that you get right now. And again, that is a permanent upgrade and increase that is not tied to the event, but they said that the event itself will further increase the pace at which you can earn these Shepherd ranks. And they said that there will be projects available that will reward you for ranking up in the system, so that should be pretty nice. And then they also confirmed that there are going to be upcoming community events and contests in the game's Discord server for helping new players out, and I'm sure that there will be rewards included for that as well. But, my friends, that is just about everything that you need to know from this Battle for Brooklyn Year 7 Season 1 special report. They played a dev diary at the end, which will go up on YouTube. It just recaps everything that we just went over in a bit more of a concise format. But yeah, my friends, that is what you need to know heading into the DLC release, Year 7, everything, tomorrow, in-game. It's an exciting time. That is what the devs said. They've been working on this stuff for a long time. They're really happy to finally be getting it out into the game. I cannot wait to play through the DLC, see all of your guys' reactions, see everything, you know? Again, I am going to be streaming a lot of my playthrough of the DLC tomorrow. I hope to see you in that stream. And as you could have guessed, we have a lot of videos and coverage coming up this week, next week, over the coming month, probably, to go over everything that is coming in this update. So if you're not subscribed, now would be a fantastic time to do so. We'd love to have you as a part of the community. And furthermore, if you have any questions, thoughts, whatever from this video, do let me know down in the comments below. I will do my very best to clarify and clear up anything that I can. That is going to do it for me today, though. I'm going to go do my final preparations, get ready for everything tomorrow. Very much hope to see you in that stream. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. And until I see you next, RogueGold. Out.